the questions that came to mind is that since this takes effect June 1st, when we file our 2011 taxes, do we have to split it up, or are we considered the entire year as far as all of the benefits and one thing or another like that? I mean, is it retroactive as far as, for example, if my state income tax is over withheld because I'm being taxed on my wife's medical benefits right now, if I can like get some of that back from the state?
The definition, as I understand it, will, in the instructions for the state tax form, will say, what was your status on December 31st, 2011? So if you got civil union on December 30th, December 31st, your entire years of reporting will be taxed and calculated on a civil union basis.
For those of us who have recognized relationships in other states, by law now that's going to be recognized here in Illinois, but administratively, are we going to have to jump through another hoop to happen to get them to recognize the out-of-state, or are we just as well to go ahead and do a civil union here in Illinois too, so that will be more readily recognized?
No, administratively, you don't have to take any extra step. But you know, again, if you want to have an extra special ceremony and celebrate again, that's fine. But you don't have to take that extra step to go down to the clerk's office and fill out the paperwork and all that stuff.
And as if by magic, at midnight on June 1, those of you who raise your hand as already being married or civil union in another jurisdiction, you will become civil union in Illinois. And we fully expect that every single authority that has to deal with civil unions in Illinois and to do with marriage, they will treat couples in civil unions the same way as they treat couples in a marriage. And so if you go to a hospital, and hospitals don't ordinarily require proof of marriage just before they allow hospital visitations, then we expect that they not require proof of civil unions of same-sex couples. And if they do require something of you that they don't require of a heterosexual couple in a marriage, then we want to hear about that. That's a perfect example of the kind of phone call you can make, is to call colleagues at Illinois and say, hey, guess what? We went to an agency and they said, oh, we want to see a civil union, we never heard of it. We want to hear about that.
Just to add to that, we also sent out letters to all the county clerks, the 102 different county clerks in the state of Illinois, just letting them know that this bill is coming. It's effective June 1st, that they do have to adhere and give folks licenses. And we've had a great reaction, and we've gotten calls. Some of the county clerk's offices have actually linked the frequently asked questions to their website under civil unions. So we won't know clearly until that day happens if there will be any problems. But for right now, it looks pretty good. But again, those are the kind of things that we want to know about.
On your website, do you have a listing of what senators and representatives in the state voted pro and who voted against, so we know if our elected official was already for this, and if they're against, and obviously I would want to call him, but if he's pro, I don't want to like badge him either, but
We have a link on our website to the SB 1716, which is the bill, civil union bill. And if you click on that link, it will tell you the vote count. It will tell you the chief sponsors and then the final vote as well. So that's the way you can get to it through our website. And if you'd like, we can send you the link. You can just email us or send you the link, but you can just go to our website as well.
If the bill takes effect on June 1st, does that mean that we can apply on June 1st, or do we have to wait till the next day?
You can apply on June 1st, but there is 24 hours that you have to wait, so you can't actually officially have your ceremony or be legal until June 2nd. So don't plan your parties for June 1st, plan them for June 2nd. And that's also, again, that's in here too in case anybody forgets.
That's kind of what I was going to ask, is it technically just filing the paperwork, or?
Yes.
So once you do that and it's notarized or whatever, that you don't really necessarily have to have like the ceremony, or how does
It's
You know,
a two-step process, and Caroline has an example of the first step. First step is to apply for a license. And when you apply for a license with your local clerk, you are getting the permission from the state to enter a civil union. So you are certifying to the state that you are eligible. In other words, you are not in a similar relationship in Illinois or another jurisdiction. That you are of age, that it's consensual, and all those things.
You're not
And then-
related.
That you're not related at first blood, right? You have first blood, whatever it's called, first degree cousins. In some states that would be illegal, not here in Illinois. And once you get that license, then as Caroline said, you have to wait 1 calendar day before that could be officiated. And that's the second step that you're required to do. So then you actually have an officiant, and that could be a judge, clerk, a pastor, a minister, or a rabbi, whoever, who will then officiate and say, I have now actually conducted that ritual and say that they are civil union. It doesn't have to be a big ceremony in front of anyone, but you're usually required to have an officiant who actually then sign that license for you, and that becomes a certificate at that point.
would it be someone in that office?
It doesn't have to be. It can be a pastor in a church. It can be a justice of the peace who gets a license online. So one of the
Boat captain.
I think both ship captains also can do that. Not if you're a private yacht, you don't qualify for as a captain for those purposes. But otherwise.
I just wanted to add something to that because I called the local courthouse last week and found out a lot of things that I had no idea about it. And one thing about getting the license is both partners are supposed to go, both be there to get it. So that, does it? And then I have one other question too about the tax law. Are we required to file jointly? I just don't know if the hassle's worth it.
Just like with the heterosexual couples in the marriage, you'll be allowed to file separately. But you'll indicate married civil unions filed jointly or married civil union filed separately.
But if we want to file jointly, because we're not federally recognized, I don't see how that could even work. Because the state tax is based upon.
You'll file your separate IRS forms, and then you'll do a mock IRS form where you pretend as if the federal government didn't recognize you as a married couple. You'll go through all those steps, get the adjusted gross income number, carry it over to the state form, and then destroy your mock 1040, your federal 1040 form.
Do you have to, no one has to ever see that mock?
That mock one? No. But this is part of our discussion now with the federal officials and lawmakers is that you are creating such a challenge for state and federal authorities now, because who is going to sit there and verify them, just in terms of protecting state's interests? You're creating these unnecessary complications. Who's going to verify that the couple now that is recognized by the state as a married civil union couple but not recognized by the federal government, that they did the mock form correctly and that all the numbers add up? So this is one instance where by not recognizing same-sex couples on a federal level, the federal government is creating this headache for state officials and for the federal government itself.
Okay, thanks.
Just hypothetical. I mean, if we happen to have a pension that is based on being a single person, it basically dies with us. That now, we have a civil union. Can we backtrack somehow if it's a state agency? Are they expected to then say, okay, now you're not a single person, and we will now look at the rights of inheritance here or the beneficiary? Or is that something we just have to explore ourselves and track? Is that clear?
If I understand the question correctly, when you contribute to the pension plan, and when the employer contributes, in Illinois, since they don't ask your sexual orientation or your wedding, marriage plans, relationship plans, they already contribute and you contribute based on a formula of expectation of how an average person is expected to, what are the chances that person will be in a relationship and how much it will cost the state later on to pay out that pension. So you already contribute based on a presumption that you may be in a relationship with a pension
Survivor
plan.
benefits, but I'm talking about the actual pension. Because the survivor benefits, most of us who are single just took those when we retire. You don't leave them there.
Oh, I understand your question now. So we are investigating right now, but there will be that buyback option.
So that would be the only thing that would be inherited, not half your pension for life or anything like that.
Okay. So we're investigating right now, because our question's been asked a number of times, and we're checking with the chief sponsor and with the various state agencies, because that's a question that we hear over and over again. So there may be that buyback option where you took the money out and go back in and get better benefits.
Hi, can you tell me what the difference between civil union and marriage would be for a heterosexual couple?
Under state law, the intention of the lawmakers is none. But under federal law, if a heterosexual couple enters a civil union, they will never recognize as a married couple under state law. They will continue on those tax forms, on everything else where state government where federal government requires a marriage in order to provide those benefits. They will not get any of those benefits.
And it's important to note that the civil union bill does cover straight couples as well as same-sex couples, just in case you guys didn't know.
Hi, I work for a Catholic institution, so needless to say, when I attempted to put my partner on my health insurance plan, that was not very well received. So, are you saying now that they will not be able to say no as of June 1st?
This is an interesting question. Our position, in the position of Lambda Legal and position of equality of ACLU, is that all employers in the state of Illinois, and Human Rights Act covers employers a certain number of employees and more. So all employers that are covered by the Human Rights Act right now will have to continue to abide by the Civil Union Act, the Civil Union law as well. And they offer spousal benefits, such as health insurance and everything else. They'll have to continue to offer them and to include same-sex people in the civil union. There may be a challenge to that, but that's the law. And as a Human Rights Act, where religious institutions are covered by it to a certain extent, this is a civil union law, to a certain extent, religious institutions will be covered by that too.
I think it's something that we're going to have to monitor closely, though. I don't think it's going to be something that will necessarily be automatic. So keep us posted too on that.